So I don't usually have a preference when it comes to a working table because all I need is just a sturdy one and big enough to put all my stuff, and that's pretty much about it for a table. But after Omnidesk sent me the Omnidesk Pro 2020, it totally blew my mind on how I can actually work on this table, because it's not just only big and made of high quality materials, but it is probably the first standing desk that I've ever got to own and I've ever got to experience while working inside the studio, because it's so comfortable with this kind of angle, and I get to game on it and I get to work on it. It's just a really different kind of experience that's sometimes better than sitting in front of a desk. And here's what I have to say about it. The Omnidesk Pro 2020 that was sent to me has this Wildwood Collection tabletop, which I personally chose the natural heavier color. It is a really nice light wood, and it is really solid wood, not made of some plastic and coated with some wood coating on top. It is solid wood that feels really nice, and one of the selling points of the Omnidesk Pro 2020 is that it comes with a standard frame. As you can see, the frame basically supports its S, L, and XL tabletop. So just in case if you're thinking of upgrading the tabletop in the future, you can actually take this one out and replace it with a smaller or larger one depending on what kind of tabletop that you actually want. So the model that I have here is the L variant, which actually measures 60 inches wide and 30 inches in terms of depth, because this is the size that I wanted to fit my gaming corner, which is the wall that is this kind of size. So this is actually kind of good if you're thinking to put a 27-inch monitor and a CPU right on the next, which is pretty sufficient. As you can see, this is a 49-inch Samsung Odyssey G9 Neo ultra-wide gaming monitor, which is pretty wide already, and I have a mini ITX built computer right over there, so it fits perfectly well for all the things that I have it on the desk right now. In terms of installation, it is actually pretty straightforward, as Omnidesk does provide a guide inside the box on teaching you on how to assemble it, just like any IKEA furniture products. But of course, you can pick their installation service if you want to do so, because they did an excellent job of setting it up really fast. Within 15 minutes, they even helped me to set up the cable management and everything, so that I do not need to think of how to route the cables, such as the controller over there. So it's all done pretty well, and I'm really glad that they provided the installation service. Omnidesk claims that the Pro 2020 can actually handle up to 130 kilograms of weight when it goes up and down, and I can testify that that is actually pretty true, because I recently did a TikTok video showing me of sitting up and down on the table while the hydraulics is going up and down, and it actually handled that pretty well without any issues. I even have my dog on top of it, so you can imagine that this monitor and the CPU that already weighs around 20 or 30 kilograms, because this monitor itself is probably around 20 kilograms already. So having that extra weight on top and with all these extra accessories around, it can really handle quite a heavy payload, and I am very impressed by that. Now, the hydraulics are actually very smooth and strong. They do not have any weird creaks or some weird sounds that's going on. The hydraulics motor that Omnidesk has included is actually very strong, and as you can hear the sound, yep, it does actually sounds really good. So this table can go as low as 63.7 centimeters and as high as 128 centimeters. So whether you are a really tall adult or if you intend to buy this table for a kid, it will definitely fit a range of heights really, really well. So this is one thing that I really love about the Omnidesk standing desk here, because to be honest, there aren't a lot of tables that will allow you to do that. So if you happen to go and buy an IKEA table, probably that height doesn't fit your kid, or if you're a super tall guy, you would actually find a problem with those kind of tables. So this is actually a good thing on the Omnidesk Pro 2020, because even for other adjustable desks, you can't really reach that kind of height. Now, I'm going to show you some features of the Omnidesk Pro 2020, including some optional accessories that I think is worth checking out. Starting with the control panel on the right, which comes as standard on any Omnidesk that you purchase, which is the reason why it is a standing desk. So the control panel basically allows you to save up to 4 height presets, which most people will use up to anyway. So the first one, I actually set it as a standing height, and the second preset, I set it as a sitting height. So for most people, 2 presets would be more than sufficient, but if you have multiple users at home, well, you got 2 other presets. Next, the cup holder right over here. Now, I think this is something that is worth putting into the cart when you check out the Omnidesk, because it is something that's really convenient. You can simply just put your drink or tumbler right over here so that it wouldn't spill on your desk when you get too excited while working or gaming. And it even has this headphone stand, which I would also recommend that you include it in your cart as well. It basically, these 2 accessories basically locks onto the table by using a clamp, so it doesn't hurt the surface of the table and anything, and it really fits the table really well. So I have 2 of these accessories placed on the right because I am personally a right-hander, so it's really easy for me to reach up to my drink and to take out my headphones whenever I want to use them. Next is this really nice leather desk mat here. It's called the Titus. Of course, there are RGB options available. If you check out on Omnidesk checkout page, you can actually select the RGB desk mat if you want to. But of course, if you have your own personal choice of mouse mats, you can actually pick them up. But this is something that I really recommend getting from Omnidesk because it feels very high quality, and if your setup is more of a simple type, not like this kind of crazy kind of setup, it actually fits your desk really well if you're thinking of treating this as a work desk. If you intend to have a more versatile workspace where you want to move your desk over and over, you can actually choose to have casters to be fitted onto the bottom of the Omnidesk Pro 2020, which I've actually done so. You can see I can actually move the table around without any hassle, and I recommend to do so if you intend to move your table around, because this table is really heavy and it requires 2 people to carry it if you want to move it around. Next, of course, it's a free inclusion, of course, is the cable management bar that is actually right at the bottom of the table, and it is what the Omnidesk sells compared to other smart desks that you see in the market. Now, this smart cable management bar is actually pretty slim, so there's one thing that you need to take note is that you can't have power strips that are too big, such as those crazy huge thick surge protectors and so on. So I basically have a really slim power strip that is installed right at the bottom, and I have most of my cables hidden really well. As you can see at the bottom of the table, there isn't a lot of wires except for my subwoofer from this Creative Katana soundbar. So you can see that it actually hides away cables really well, and I think it is something really great that Omnidesk has included as part of the purchase when you buy the Omnidesk Pro 2020. Now, although you see that I have a wireless charger right here, which is not provided by Omnidesk anyway, I do recommend that you check out Omnidesk Live Monitor Riser. Now, that is actually a pretty nice riser because you actually get a wireless charging pad on top as well, and it also supports monitor sizes from 13 to 32 inches and up to 10 kilograms of weight. That is a really good accessory if you are thinking to stand while working, and I really recommend that you check that out. The next optional accessory that I recommend is the Color Light Pro RGB lighting. Now, the reason why I recommend this lighting is because it's small, it's not too distracting at times, but it actually jazzes up your work desk in a colorful way. Now, currently I've set it to this blue color lighting because I feel that it's really comfortable, and you can pretty much change the lighting by just tapping on a button on the back here where it will change to different types of lighting schemes, and it can be controlled over your smartphone over Wi-Fi. So that's something that's really cool if you intend to make your work desk really cool with some decorations. The Color Light Pro is actually one recommended optional accessory. The last optional accessory that I recommend is something that I'm standing on. It is the AntiFatigue Mat, and just like its name suggests, it really removes the tiredness when you're standing while working. So I wouldn't say it's optional at all. It is actually a really essential accessory that you check out when you purchase the Omnidesk Pro 2020 if you're thinking to use this as a standing desk, because the mat material is actually really nice to stand on. Once you take it out and you start standing on it, the sponge that supports your leg really removes all the tiredness from your leg while you're standing and working. So this is something that I really recommend that you guys buy if you intend to treat this as a standing desk. So yep, this is everything about the Omnidesk Pro 2020. It is a really great work desk that I think anyone should just consider if they're working from home and require a great desk with smart features and height adjustment. And I never thought I would love this desk so much for standing while working. Alright, so that's pretty much for today's video. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe to our channel for more content coming right up, and I'll see you guys in our next one.